Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing sort of the path to permanent residence in Thailand. I had a colleague ask me to sort of do a video similar to this or along these lines. And essentially what you're looking at, if you're trying to get on the path to permanent residence, especially if you're a single foreign national, you're not married to a Thai national, although much of this applies to those married to Thai nationals, although it might not necessarily have the same requirements. But my opinion, the most tried and true methodology of gaining permanent residence to Thailand in Thailand, is to set up a Thai company and then use that company as a vehicle to maintain one's work permit and visa status for the requisite period of time. Generally speaking, you're going to have to do a minimum of 3 years, although maybe look at it a little more like 4. But you're going to be looking at setting something up, getting yourself a business visa work permit setup going, and just starting to count the seconds until you're going to be feasible to go ahead and file for PR. Now, bear in mind, this isn't the only way to deal with this. Many expats who come here, they get jobs in sort of quote-unquote expat package companies, you know, where they're getting something commensurate with a multinational salary in like a Western country or in, you know, another Asian country like Japan or Korea or China, but they're here in Thailand. Yeah, those folks may be viable for permanent residence as well, but oftentimes I found it's a little bit more straightforward if you have the option. I mean, if your circumstances are such that it's just, look, I work for this company, this is what I got to deal with. But when you own your own company, a major upside of that is you have control over the documentation associated with getting permanent residence. We oftentimes, when we're liaising with clients, when processing Thai permanent residence cases, it can be rather vexing to deal with, you know, a third party. It's usually the company they're working for, because you're asking for documentation. They're wanting to know why you're needing this, et cetera, and it concerns them, essentially. So again, you know, the most optimal way I have seen in my time in Thailand to become a permanent resident and maybe even ultimately one day a Thai citizen is by setting up your own company and then using that company as sort of a vehicle, if you will, to get there. It should not, to be clear, this is not pretextual. It's not a pretext or a pretense. You know, you really will need to have an operational company that's bringing in revenue and paying taxes and paying you a salary and all of this. But just simply from the standpoint of optimizing the PR process, having one's own small business in Thailand acting as one's own sponsor is, in my opinion, about the most optimal way to deal with it.